Hey, good evening, folks. It's been a long but exciting day. I know many of you are tired and you're probably looking forward to the after party, but please bear with me and just for 15 more minutes and then I'll take you there myself. Yeah, so quick question. So how many of you know Wayfair, who heard about Wayfair? Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, another question then. How many of you have liked your experience at Wayfair? Ooh, mixed feelings, I see. Okay. Well, hopefully you're going to geek out on what I'm going to show you today, and maybe that'll change your mind. But for those of you who don't know Wayfair, we're the biggest online retailer of home furnishings and decor, and we sell over 7 million items. But what's more interesting is that at the core, we're a technology company. Our roots are in engineering, and out of the 5,700 folks we have at Wayfair, 1,000 of them are actually engineers. So what's an online retailer that's selling furniture doing at a space like this? Why are we at Augmented World Expo? Short answer is our customer. We want to make her happy. We want to kind of inspire her. She's not shopping at Wayfair to look at drab photos. She's not here for a passionless transaction. She's not here to buy like batteries. She's here to buy something meaningful, something unique. And for us, we want to be able to provide that experience to her. That warm feeling that you get when you walk into your favorite bed and breakfast. We want to weave stories with beautiful imagery. But at the same time, she wants to be practical. She wants the convenience to shop online for furniture or on the go from her home and not have to worry about the fit of that item. So for us, we want to instill that confidence in her to buy furniture online. So 1.5 years ago, we created this team called Wayfair Next to figure out next generation technologies to create that customer experience. And we started exploring the potential of 3D as a new medium to add a dimension, literally, and to provide that inspiration. And to also create beautiful imagery like this. This is a photorealistic render without having to actually coordinate a photo shoot or ship any of the furniture to our photo studio. So what this lets us do is it gives us more time to create more content like this, to provide that inspiration. But a 2D image can only do so much, right? It's really good for a cozy feeling. But what about, like, how do we increase that confidence to buy furniture online? So I wanted to show you a quick video of this app that we created last year. And it works on Google Tango. I'm just going to roll this video. And in this video, you can see I'm shopping for bar stools for my new cocktail table. So what I do is, I'm just looking at my cocktail table. I start searching for products. I'm going through a bunch of featured products here. I'm looking for different kinds of bar stools. So select a particular product, tap on the floor, that loads up the product. And that progress bar that you see there, that's actually that's indicating downward progress of that model. I can move the model around, I can rotate it, and I have a pretty good idea of how that chair looks. Whether it fits my space, does it match the rest of my furniture? And now I can actually compare by searching for another bar stool. So I'm searching for stools here, I get some options, I'm browsing. I like that little wooden bar stool. I put that in my space too. And now I can actually compare these two stools. Which one's right for me? So we're solving a real problem here. And there are important things, like very subtle things in this that you see, like that little grounding of the shadow plane that you see there. That's like very important, like to blend the digital and the real world. And even reflections, like real-time reflections on these products. So I think there's small, since this is the design track, I'd like to just kind of mention that. So that was an apt use of augmented reality. So for us, augmented reality is very practical. It answers questions like, does it fit the space? Does it match the rest of my items? And in this case, we brought the furniture into her space. but how do we take her to a new space and show her new ideas? And that's where VR comes in. I'm going to show you a quick video of an app that we released for Oculus Rift last summer called Patio Playground. Oop, there's no audio. All right, never mind. So this gave us a very good idea of how our products looked in VR. A user is taken to a patio, and they can actually design the space with different combinations of patio furniture. We get a drone to do the delivery. So this is great. It gives us, this is the kind of the upper limit of what VR is capable of for our use case, right? But what about mobile? That's what most of our customers have. Can we do something that's not as interactive, but still immersive, and provide that quick moment of inspiration on the go? So we then created Idea Space for Daydream, where we're immersing the user into photorealistic rooms. And these rooms are curated, and the user can kind of shop the look and get some inspiration and actually buy the products. But what if she wants to furnish her entire house, or she's working on a big project, like a major redesign? So how do we help with that practicality and figuring out that look? Or how do we improve the productivity? How do we provide these tools to kind of plan the new design? So we studied the designer space. We looked at 3D tools that designers are using. And we figured out that most of the products that are available on platforms such as SketchUp, they're generic representations of coffee tables or couches or whatever else product that you have there. So we're trying to change that by providing an exact representation of a real product for platforms like SketchUp or Chief Architect. But what if we could do all of these things in one experience? So I wanted to show you a sneak preview of what we're working on. And I believe this is like the core engine. It's the tool to do design, figure out fit, figure out the visualization. So this is something that we've created for VR platforms like Rift and Vive. But you can imagine this, you can extend this to a mixed reality experience where we're blending in the physical and the digital world as well. The room that you see here is completely procedurally generated. The walls, the floors, the windows, the doors, we decide where that can go. So you can kind of read it off a floor plan or like put it in a JSON file or something like that. And you can interact with the products. So I'm just like picking up things. I'm just checking out the room for now. And now I'm thinking about, oh, wait, I need to kind of add a carpet. So I'm going to search for furniture. I'm looking at area rugs now, and I get a list of area rugs that we have. I can choose which one I want. I just pull that into the experience. And now I have a pretty good idea of what that rug looks like and whether it matches that furniture. And now I don't like that couch, so I want to kind of change that. So I look at different options for couches that I have that fit that little white box that you see there. So I like the brown couch now. And now with this new couch, I think it can probably be better in a different space. So I'm trying to exchange the couch with that little console table there. I'm just moving things around. You can see like how easy this is to kind of redesign or figure out, like you can just play with this all day and then figure out if that design makes sense or not. So I'm teleporting to a new location in that room, looking at it from a different perspective. And now I can obviously look at items in more detail. I don't like that fruit basket there. I'm going to take it from there, pick it up, put it in a different space. That looks better. And then I'm going to just move over and go to a bird's eye view of the entire space, which gives me a really good idea of whether the space is, if there are empty corners in the space that I need to fill. So I figured out that there's a space near the door that needs to be filled. I move the table in the corner. So you can see like it's very easy to kind of create your own designs. And so all of this stuff is being powered by our 3D models. And I go back to my original view, and I want to like figure out if I want to change the wall art or like look at things in more detail. So you get a very good idea of what we're trying to do here, right? So for us, augmented reality and virtual reality is just not a marketing gimmick. We're actually trying to solve customer problems with this, right? And what's important to note here is that these experiences, these applications are just the tip of the iceberg. What's powering all of these experiences is the 3D content, right? And that's really, really important. Getting that content ready is key. And that's what we're good at. So how are we actually generating these models? There are two main ways. One is through hand modeling, where an artist is actually sitting at a computer and creating the model based on dimensions, photographs that we provide. The other way is to actually scan that product, the physical product, and create a digital version of it. And we figured out the scanning process as well. We have an array of cameras, a turntable. We put the product on the turntable. The cameras shoot the product from different angles. And then we process that, and we create a model out of it. It's obviously more complicated than that, but we figured that out, and we're at a point where we can scale this and create models at a very fast rate. So the end result from both of these creation methods is a max model with V-Ray materials on it. That's really good for renders, but you can't just take that and put it into an application, right? So we convert the V-Ray materials into standard materials so that a physically based rendering engine such as Unity can kind of display it. So we create the max model to an FBX model, and FBX is a great file format for us right now. It's well contained. It's better than it's lighter than the max model. And we then just decimate that FBX model, and from there we can basically publish it to any platform that we want. So right now we're creating asset bundles for Unity. So that's powering our VR and AR apps and web apps. We then create SketchUp models as well. We're also going to create AutoCAD models. And the next big thing that we're going to do is create GLTF models. And we believe that GLTF could be the JPEG of 3D, as they say. And I think it's a very well-contained format, and it's very lightweight, and that could be the future of 3D models. So now that you see where we're coming from and where we're going, I'd like to talk about a simple chicken and egg problem that we have in the AR and VR industry right now. If your hardware is ready and your content's not ready, that's a problem. If your content's ready already and the hardware's not ready, that's still a problem. And we understand that, and we'd like to take the industry forward. Maybe you're thinking of a social VR space where you want to furnish that with real-world items, right? Maybe you're thinking of, there's a lot of talk today about dystopia and utopia, right? So maybe there's a utopian world where you're everyone has a headset and you're walking through a mall and you can see advertisements, right? Can you imagine like if there's like a big billboard of sorts is flashing, or there's like a marquee scroller, like, you imagine like the early 2000s, like the advertising on the web, a similar case. But what if it need not be that? It can be a very subtle way where you're walking through a mall and it could be, there could be a couch in the corner that's an ad. Right? Or you figured out the next big immersive tech. So I wanted to introduce you to the model API. So we want to provide these models that can power your apps. And we're distributing them over an API. It's still in private beta, but if you have a very good use case, reach out to us and we'll help you out. So that's it. Here's changing the future of online retail together. And if I have some more time, I can show you another sneak peek of what's coming next. Go ahead.